They told her her boss was racist, then he did this. The room went quiet when Mr. Andrew Miller stood up. Every eye turned to him. The white man everyone warned her about. The man, they said, hated black people. The man, they said, fired black workers for no reason. Maya Johnson stood near the back of the meeting room, her hands shaking. She could feel her heart beating fast in her chest. Her white coworkers sat in neat rows, calm, confident, some of them already smiling like they knew what was coming next. Mr. Miller cleared his throat. "I've made my decision," he said. Maya held her breath. He looked straight at her. "Maya Johnson," he said loudly, "please come forward." Her stomach dropped. This was it. This was the moment they warned her about. Her co-workers had told her again and again, "Be careful. He doesn't like black people. He watches you more. One mistake and you're gone." Maya slowly walked forward. Her legs felt weak. She expected anger. She expected shame. She expected to be fired. But instead, Mr. Miller smiled. "I want to thank you," he said, "for being the hardest working person on this team." Gasps filled the room. Maya's eyes widened. "Starting today," he continued, "you are promoted to senior operations lead." The room exploded in shock. Her co-workers froze. Some looked angry. Some looked confused. Some looked scared. Maya couldn't move. Her ears rang. Her mind went blank. The man they told her was racist had just made her his top leader. And that was when Mr. Miller added something that made the room even quieter. "There's something else everyone here needs to hear," he said. Maya's heart dropped again. What was he about to say? If you're watching this, you're amazing. Please subscribe to my channel. Now let me take you back to how all of this began. Maya Johnson was a black American woman from Atlanta, Georgia. She grew up with a single mom who worked 2 jobs and still smiled every night. Maya learned early that hard work was not a choice. It was survival. When Maya got the job at the company in Chicago, she was excited. New city, new start, new hope. The office was mostly white. That made her nervous, but she told herself to stay focused. On her first day, a woman named Sarah walked her around. Sarah smiled a lot, but her eyes didn't match her smile. "Just so you know," Sarah whispered, "you should watch yourself here." Maya frowned. "Why?" Sarah leaned closer. "Our boss, he doesn't like black employees. We've seen it happen." Later that day, another coworker, Tom, said the same thing. Then Emily. Then Josh. The story was always the same. The boss is racist. At first, Maya didn't believe it. Mr. Miller barely spoke to her. He treated her like everyone else. But slowly, the fear crept in. So Maya worked harder. She came in early. She stayed late. She fixed problems others ignored. She helped everyone, even the ones who whispered behind her back. Some co-workers began to hate her. "She's trying too hard," Sarah said once. "She's making us look bad," Tom complained. The tension grew thicker every day. Then one afternoon, Maya was called into HR. Her stomach dropped. The extreme moment she feared had arrived. She didn't know it yet, but this meeting would change everything. Maya sat across from the HR desk, her hands folded tight in her lap. The room smelled like old paper and coffee. The woman from HR, Mrs. Linda Parker, clicked her pen and looked at a folder. "Maya," she said calmly, "this is just a routine meeting." Maya didn't believe her. Her mind raced. Did I mess up? Did someone lie on me? Is this where it ends? Mrs. Parker looked up. "There have been complaints." Maya's chest tightened. "Complaints about what?" she asked softly. Mrs. Parker sighed. "Some co-workers feel uncomfortable." Maya blinked. "Uncomfortable how?" "They say you make them look bad," Mrs. Parker said. "They say you work too hard, that you don't act like part of the team." Maya couldn't believe what she was hearing. "I just do my job," she said. "I help when I can." Mrs. Parker nodded slowly. "That's what your records show. No late days. No mistakes. No write-ups." Maya felt a small wave of relief. "Then why am I here?" she asked. Mrs. Parker closed the folder. "Because rumors have started, and rumors can grow." Maya swallowed hard. "Are the rumors about me?" Mrs. Parker paused. "Some are about you. Some are about Mr. Miller." Maya froze. "The boss?" she asked. Mrs. Parker leaned back. "People are saying he targets certain employees, that he favors others." Maya's heart sank. The same lies. The same whispers. "What do you think?" Maya asked carefully. Mrs. Parker looked her straight in the eye. I think facts matter more than stories. That was it. The meeting ended. No warning. No punishment. Maya walked out confused but hopeful. For a few days, things felt calm. Too calm. Her coworkers smiled more, but it felt fake. Conversations stopped when she walked by. Emails were left unanswered. Lunch invites disappeared. One morning, Maya found her work files deleted from the system. She rushed to IT. My files are gone. The IT worker frowned. They were deleted last night. By who? He checked the screen. Someone with team access. Maya knew what that meant. Sabotage. She rebuilt everything from memory. Stayed late. Didn't complain. But the pressure grew. One afternoon, Sarah snapped at her in front of everyone. You think you're better than us? Sarah shouted. You think working like a robot will save you when he turns on you? The room went silent. Maya felt tears burn her eyes, but she didn't cry. I just want to do my job, she said quietly. That night, Maya went home exhausted. She called her mom. Maybe they're right, Maya said. Maybe the boss really is racist. Her mom was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Baby, don't listen to people who hate your light. Watch actions, not words. The next morning, Maya found an email in her inbox. Subject, meeting with Andrew Miller, urgent. Her hands started shaking. This time, it wasn't HR. It was the boss himself. And when she walked into his office, she saw something on his desk that made her heart drop all over again. Maya stood in front of Mr. Miller's office door for a long moment before knocking. Her eyes kept drifting to the desk she had seen through the glass wall. On it sat a thin brown folder with her name written across the front. Why does he have a file on me? She thought. Come in, Mr. Miller said. His voice was calm, normal. That somehow made her more nervous. Maya stepped inside. The office was clean and quiet. A big window showed the city below. Mr. Miller, a white man in his late 40s with gray at his temples, motioned for her to sit. She sat. He opened the folder. Maya, he said, how are you holding up? She hesitated. I'm fine, sir. He looked at her for a long second. You don't have to lie here. That surprised her. He flipped through papers. You've been here 6 months. You've doubled your output. You've fixed problems others ignored. You've worked weekends without pay. Maya nodded slowly. Yes, sir. Do you know why I called you in? He asked. Her throat tightened. No. He closed the folder. Because people are talking. Her heart dropped. About me? She asked. About you. And about me, he said. Maya felt her chest grow tight. They say things, she said carefully. About you. He leaned back in his chair. What kind of things? She stared at her hands. That you don't like black employees. The room went quiet. Maya waited for anger. For denial. For punishment. Instead, Mr. Miller nodded once. I've heard that before, he said. Maya looked up. You have? Yes, he replied calmly. Every few years, the same story comes back. Her mind spun. Then why don't you stop it? She asked before she could stop herself. Mr. Miller smiled sadly. Because lies die when truth stands up, not when it hides. He stood and walked to the window. Maya, have I ever treated you unfairly? She shook her head. No, sir. Have I ever judged your work by your skin color? No. Then watch what people do, he said, turning back, not what they say. Maya felt confused but also lighter. When she left his office, her coworkers stared at her. Sarah whispered something to Tom. Tom laughed. That afternoon, Maya noticed her tasks were doubled. Deadlines were moved earlier. Help never came. Still, she worked. Late that evening, as she packed her bag, she overheard voices near the break room. She needs to go, Sarah said. She's too close to him, Tom replied. Emily lowered her voice. HR meeting tomorrow. We'll say she's aggressive. Unstable. Maya froze. They were planning to lie. Her hands shook as she walked away. The next morning, the entire team was called into a surprise meeting. HR was there. Mr. Miller was there. Maya walked in last. And then Sarah stood up and pointed at her. She makes us feel unsafe, Sarah said loudly. The room gasped. Maya's heart stopped. And Mr. Miller slowly stood from his chair. The room went completely silent. Every pair of eyes was on Mr. Miller now. Maya felt her stomach twist into knots. Her coworkers' smirks disappeared. Even Sarah looked nervous. Mr. Miller cleared his throat. Maya Johnson, he said, calm but firm. Please come forward. Maya stepped up slowly, her hands trembling. She expected anger. She expected punishment. She expected the world to crumble beneath her feet. Instead, he reached for the folder on his desk and held it out toward her. Do you know what this is? He asked. Maya shook her head, still in shock. This, he said, opening the folder, is a record of every achievement, every problem you've solved, every extra hour you've worked, and every person you've helped since day one. The room murmured. Whispers filled the air. Her coworkers looked like they had just seen a ghost. Mr. Miller continued. It seems some of you have chosen to spread rumors instead of working alongside Maya. But facts are facts. Work ethic is work ethic. Talent is talent. And dedication is dedication. He paused, letting it sink in. Maya's eyes were wide, her chest heaving. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. The same people who had been undermining her, lying about her, and trying to sabotage her were now frozen, speechless. And because of this, Mr. Miller said, his voice steady, I am promoting Maya Johnson to senior operations lead, effective immediately. Gasps filled the room. Some people sat frozen. Some mouths hung open in shock. Sarah turned pale. Tom's jaw dropped. Emily's eyes welled up with tears, though Maya couldn't tell if it was sympathy or fear. Maya's legs felt weak. Her heart raced. This was the moment she never expected. The man everyone warned her about, the racist boss, had just made her his top leader. The room was dead silent as Mr. Miller added, and let this be a lesson. Loyalty, hard work, and integrity will always speak louder than rumors, prejudice, or lies. Everyone was staring at her. For a moment, Maya felt like she was floating. She didn't know whether to cry or just stand there, stunned. But then Sarah whispered to Tom, he's gone too far. She's taking over everything. Maya's chest tightened. The shock of promotion was only half the battle. She realized her coworkers' jealousy would only get worse now. She swallowed hard, holding back a mixture of pride and fear. How would she survive the next weeks? How many more lies and schemes would come at her now that she had the boss's full attention? If you're watching this, you're amazing. Please subscribe to my channel. Later that day, Maya returned to her desk, carrying the weight of her new position. Emails piled up faster than ever. Calls needed to be returned. Projects demanded her immediate attention. She had climbed the peak of the mountain, but now the storm clouds were gathering. And that's when she noticed something strange, an email from an anonymous address. Subject, watch your back, Maya. Her hands froze. Her heart pounded. She realized that the real battle wasn't over, because the promotion had just painted a bigger target on her. And someone in that office was willing to go to extreme lengths to take her down. Maya took a deep breath, gripping her chair tightly, and read the first line of the email. The cliffhanger left her shaking. What could this email possibly say? Who sent it? And that's where things get even more dangerous. Maya's hands trembled as she read the email. The first line was short, chilling. Not everyone likes seeing you rise. Watch yourself. Her stomach sank. She stared at the screen, trying to steady her breathing. She couldn't tell who sent it. There was no name, no signature, just that single line. Her mind raced. Was it Sarah? Tom? Emily? Or someone else entirely? Her coworkers had already been plotting against her. And now, with her promotion, the tension had only grown. She closed her laptop slowly, trying to push the fear aside. She reminded herself of what Mr. Miller had said. Facts speak louder than rumors. But even facts couldn't stop someone who wanted to harm her. The next morning, Maya arrived at work earlier than usual. She wanted to get a head start to stay ahead of the chaos. But the office felt different. Whispers followed her as she walked past desks. Laptops shut too quickly. Chairs scraped loudly as people moved away from her path. Sarah gave her a forced smile. Tom avoided eye contact. Emily acted overly sweet, almost suspiciously so. Maya felt trapped. She couldn't ignore what had just happened, but she also had to stay professional. She focused on her tasks, trying to keep her mind occupied. Reports, schedules, emails. Her desk was covered in piles of paperwork. Yet even as she worked, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. You think he protects you? Think again. They're all watching. Maya froze. Her heart raced. Was this just a prank? Or something more serious? She tried to ignore it and carried on, but a sense of dread followed her all day. She noticed small things she hadn't before. Files slightly moved, pens missing, her coffee cup gone when she returned from the break room. By the afternoon, the pressure was mounting. Her phone buzzed again. You can't trust anyone, not even him. Maya's mind went blank. She remembered the warning from Sarah on her first day. Our boss is racist. Now the tables had turned, but the paranoia lingered. She wanted to believe in Mr. Miller, to trust that he saw the truth. But these anonymous threats made her doubt everything. Who could she confide in? Her friends in the office were fading fast, swallowed by jealousy or fear. Then came the breaking point. She was in the conference room, preparing a presentation for an important client when the lights flickered. The room went dark for a few seconds, then came back on. But when the lights returned, the projector displayed a single, shocking message. She doesn't belong here. We'll make sure she leaves. The words were bold and bright, shining across the room for anyone to see. Her coworkers froze. Some gasped. Others glanced nervously at each other. Maya's heart stopped. She felt the room closing in. It wasn't just rumors anymore. This was a direct threat. Her hands shook as she reached for the projector's remote, trying to turn it off. But the damage was done. Everyone had read it. Everyone had seen it. And then she heard a voice behind her. Maya, what's going on? She turned slowly, and the sight that met her eyes made her blood run cold. Because it wasn't who she expected. And that was when the next extreme event hit. Someone she trusted in the office revealed their true intentions in the most shocking way possible. Maya froze, staring at the figure behind her. It was Emily, her usually sweet, quiet coworker, the one who had always smiled and laughed with her, now had a cold, almost triumphant look on her face. Maya, Emily said softly, almost too sweetly, you really thought you could just waltz in here and take over? Maya's heart pounded. Emily, what is this? She asked, her voice shaking. Emily tilted her head, her smile fading into something sharp. Oh, come on. You didn't think this office would just let you climb to the top without a fight, did you? The room was silent. Some co-workers pretended to be busy, but Maya could feel their eyes on her. Fear and tension filled the air. What fight? Maya whispered. Emily walked slowly toward her, holding a stack of papers. Rumors, lies, threats. I just thought I'd speed things up a little. Make sure everyone knows the truth. She tossed the papers onto the table. This is just the beginning. Maya looked down. The papers were filled with manipulated emails, fake complaints, and stories twisted to make her look aggressive and difficult. Someone had gone through all her work to create a false image. Maya's mind spun. She had expected challenges, jealousy, even sabotage, but not betrayal from someone she had considered friend. Before she could respond, Sarah stepped forward, her face pale. Emily, this is too far. Stop it. Emily laughed, a cold, sharp sound. Too far? Oh no, Sarah. This is just getting started. Maya's going to see how it feels when everyone turns against her. And you, she said, glancing at Sarah, are going to help me. Sarah shook her head frantically. I can't. But Emily cut her off. You don't have a choice. Or you'll be next. Maya's chest tightened. Her hands clenched into fists. Her promotion, her hard work, the boss's faith, all of it suddenly felt fragile. She realized the office she had entered with hope and determination had turned into a battlefield, and she was at the center of it. She remembered Mr. Miller's words, watch actions, not words. But how could she fight back when the attacks were hidden, coming from behind? Suddenly, her phone buzzed. Another anonymous message. You can't win alone. They're everywhere. Maya felt panic rising, but deep down, she knew she had to stay strong. She had fought too hard to let lies and betrayal tear her down now. She looked up at Emily. You think this scares me? Maya said, her voice trembling but growing stronger. I've faced worse. I'm not going anywhere. Emily's eyes narrowed, and she stepped closer. We'll see about that. Then, just as Maya took a deep breath to steady herself, the office lights flickered again, longer this time. A loud crash came from the storage room. Everyone jumped. Papers flew. Chairs tipped over. Maya's heart leapt. Something was happening, and it wasn't an accident. Her mind raced. Was this another warning? A setup? Or something even worse? And just like that, the calm she had clung to vanished. The office had become a storm, and the next extreme event was about to strike. One that would push her to the edge and test everything she thought she knew about trust, loyalty, and survival. Maya's heart pounded as she rushed toward the storage room. Papers littered the floor, the smell of toppled coffee and dust filling the air. She could hear muffled voices, panicked footsteps, and the faint sound of something heavy crashing against the wall. "Stay back," someone shouted. Maya froze. Her eyes darted around the corner. Emily and Sarah were there, standing near the mess, but neither looked like they were hurt. "What happened?" Maya demanded, her voice shaking. Emily smirked. "Oh, nothing. Just making sure you're paying attention." Maya's hands tightened into fists. "This isn't a game." Before Emily could respond, a shadow moved behind her. Tom appeared, holding a box that had just fallen from the top shelf. He looked nervous, guilty even. "I didn't mean for it to happen," he muttered. Maya's eyes narrowed. "You were in on this?" Tom avoided her gaze. I was scared. They said if I didn't help." Maya took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. Her mind raced. She couldn't trust anyone fully, not in this office. Everyone had their own agendas. And yet, she couldn't let fear control her. She started picking up the papers, stacking them carefully. She needed to regain control. She needed proof. Evidence. Something to show Mr. Miller that the chaos wasn't her fault. But just as she straightened up, her phone buzzed again. Another anonymous message. "You're running out of time. Watch him. He's not who you think he is." Maya felt a chill. Her mind went to Mr. Miller. Could the email be talking about him? Could someone really be manipulating him? Or worse, planning something against her under his nose? She looked around the office. Her coworkers avoided her eyes. Even the receptionist, usually cheerful, was giving her subtle, wary glances. The walls felt like they were closing in. Maya realized something terrifying. The threat wasn't just Emily or Sarah. It was the entire office culture. Lies, jealousy, fear, they were all weapons, and she was standing in the middle of the battlefield. Determined, she made her decision. She would confront Mr. Miller. She needed the truth. She needed guidance. And she needed protection. That afternoon, she walked into his office, documents in hand. She explained everything. The emails, the sabotage, the threats. Her voice trembled, but her resolve was clear. Mr. Miller listened silently. When she finished, he leaned back in his chair, steepling his fingers. "Maya," he said finally, "I believe you, and I will handle this." A wave of relief washed over her, but it was short-lived. Just as she was about to leave, the office door slammed open behind her. And standing there, with a look of pure rage, was Sarah, holding a stack of papers in her hands, ready to accuse Maya in front of Mr. Miller. The room froze. The tension was unbearable. Maya's heart raced. She realized this confrontation was far from over. And in that moment, the next extreme event hit. The one that would force Maya to prove, once and for all, that she could survive not just the office politics, but the lies, the betrayal, and the dangerous games being played around her. Sarah stormed into the office, her face red and trembling. She waved the stack of papers in the air like a weapon. "This is unacceptable," she shouted. "Maya has been sabotaging everyone. She's manipulative, aggressive, and trying to take control of this office." Maya's chest tightened. She felt her throat go dry. She had expected challenges, lies, and jealousy, but this public attack in front of Mr. Miller was shocking. Mr. Miller remained calm, his hands folded on his desk. "Sarah," he said slowly, "what exactly are these papers?" Sarah flipped through them, ignoring Maya entirely. "Evidence. Emails she's sent, reports she's altered, complaints she's made about coworkers. It's all here." Maya stepped forward, her voice shaking, but determined. "Mr. Miller, none of this is true. These are manipulated emails, altered reports, and lies created to make me look bad. I've been targeted since I started here." Sarah scoffed. "Oh, please. Everyone can see who's causing problems. You think your promotion makes you untouchable." Mr. Miller held up a hand. "Enough. Maya, may I see these papers?" Sarah hesitated but handed them over reluctantly. Mr. Miller flipped through each page, his expression unreadable. Maya's heart pounded as he paused at a particular document. "This is interesting," he murmured. "It appears someone has forged these reports. And these emails," he looked up, meeting Maya's eyes. "They are manipulated to create a false narrative. The truth is clear to anyone who looks closely." Maya felt her chest loosen slightly. She had feared this moment for weeks, and now the truth was finally coming to light. Sarah's face paled. You're lying. He's not going to believe you." Mr. Miller's voice cut through sharply. "I trust facts, Sarah, and the facts show that Maya has been diligent, honest, and hardworking. Anyone attempting to undermine her will face consequences." The office went silent. Some coworkers whispered nervously, while others avoided eye contact completely. Emily, who had been quietly observing from the side, stepped back, her own smirk fading. Maya felt a mix of relief and determination. She had survived betrayal, rumors, and threats, but she knew this wasn't the end. Her promotion had made her a target, and there were still people in the office willing to play dirty. She straightened her shoulders, taking a deep breath. "I'm not going anywhere, and I won't let lies or jealousy stop me from doing my job." Mr. Miller nodded approvingly. "Good. And let this be a reminder to everyone. Integrity and hard work always win. Maya Johnson is valued here, and any attempts to sabotage her will not be tolerated." A tension-filled silence followed. Then, slowly, the office began to settle. Some coworkers avoided Maya's eyes, while others muttered apologies under their breath. If you're watching this, you're amazing. Please subscribe to my channel. But just as Maya thought the worst was over, her phone buzzed once more. A new anonymous email had arrived. "You think this is the end? You have no idea what's coming next." Maya's stomach dropped. She realized that the battles she had fought so far were only the beginning. She looked out the office window, the city stretching below her, and knew she had to be stronger than ever. Because the next extreme event was already on its way, and it would challenge everything she believed about trust, loyalty, and survival in the workplace. The stage was set for the ultimate showdown. Maya stared at her phone, the latest anonymous email glowing on the screen. "You think this is the end? You have no idea what's coming next." Her chest tightened, but this time, instead of panic, she felt a spark of determination. She had survived sabotage, betrayal, and lies. She had earned her promotion honestly. And now, no one, not Emily, not Sarah, not anonymous threats, could break her spirit. The next morning, Maya arrived at work earlier than anyone. She moved through the office with quiet confidence, observing the small signs of previous schemes. Misplaced papers, whispered glances, avoided eye contact. Nothing escaped her notice. She approached Mr. Miller's office. "Sir, I think it's time we address this once and for all," she said. Mr. Miller looked up from his desk, impressed. "I agree, Maya. Do you have a plan?" "I do," she said. "We need to confront the rumors and the lies openly. Let's gather everyone and make this transparent. Show them that truth, hard work, and integrity matter more than jealousy and manipulation." By mid-morning, the entire office was called into the conference room. Maya stood at the front, papers neatly stacked, a calm, yet commanding presence. "Everyone," she began, "the past weeks have been difficult. Rumors, lies, and sabotage have caused tension. But today, we will address everything openly. The facts will speak for themselves." One by one, she laid out evidence showing manipulated emails, falsified complaints, and attempts to undermine her work. Mr. Miller supported her, confirming each point with his authority. The office was silent, the tension almost unbearable. Sarah, Emily, and Tom fidgeted in their seats, their previous confidence gone. Other coworkers exchanged nervous glances. The truth was undeniable. Maya looked at the room and continued, "I'm here to work, to help this team succeed, and to lead with integrity. I won't tolerate lies, but I will always lead with fairness and respect. And I expect the same from everyone here." Mr. Miller nodded. From now on, Maya Johnson is not only a senior operations lead, but a role model for this office. Anyone found spreading lies or sabotaging others will face consequences. The culture here will change, starting today. A heavy silence hung in the room. Then, slowly, some coworkers began to apologize. Some admitted their jealousy, some their fear of speaking up. Sarah and Emily remained silent, but even they could not hide their defeat. In the weeks that followed, the office began to shift. The toxic whispers faded. Maya's leadership brought clarity and productivity. Projects succeeded. Morale improved. Even the colleagues who once doubted her started to respect her, not just for her promotion, but for the way she handled herself with grace and courage. Maya felt a deep sense of accomplishment. She had faced racism rumors, betrayal, and fear, yet she had stayed true to herself and emerged stronger. She looked out the window one evening, the city lights glittering below. She smiled. She had survived the storm. She had claimed her place honestly, and no one could take that away. If you're watching this, you're amazing. Please subscribe to my channel. The office was no longer a battlefield. It was a place of opportunity, respect, and truth. Maya's journey wasn't just about surviving. It was about leading, inspiring, and proving that integrity always triumphs over lies. And as she closed her laptop that night, she knew one thing for certain. She was ready for anything that came next.